What's going on, everyone? Gilman with the Wellthy Stocks, back with another video today, taking a look at Apple stock, our daily Apple update video, where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today. We'll talk about key levels of support and resistance, do that technical analysis part, but especially today, you guys know we had that spring-loaded Apple event, so we'll dig deeper into that, and then we'll take a look at what that means for the stock moving forward. So, real quick, if you enjoy this video and other videos that I do, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Helps with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Now, let me go ahead and hit record, and we will get right into the video. Little red day for Apple, as we sort of expected, right? We talked about this. We've talked about the markets taking a little breather. We've talked about Apple taking a little breather, and we got that today. Now, what I want to do quickly is I want to cover the spring-loaded event and everything that kind of came out of it, as kind of just, I mean, if you're an Apple investor, you probably care about their products, hopefully. And so let's take a look at, everything that they announced today. It was actually a lot. Mostly though, we got from the rumors, not gonna lie. So it wasn't anything like too surprising to see, but nonetheless, we'll take a look at what we got. So first things first, Apple's new iPad Pros got the M1 chip. We talked about that. And that is something that, we were anticipating. Remember that there's still potential screen shortages there. So, if you're looking for that, don't know when you're going to be able to get your hands on one. But nonetheless, we're going to get a Liquid Retina XDR display. We're going to get the M1 chip. And yeah, you can order them April 30th if you're interested. The next thing that we got was the redesigned iMac. Not gonna lie, these actually look pretty slick to me. Going with the kind of boxy design, like the iPhone, the newer iPhone, the newer iPads. And personally, I think this looks really, really nice. Probably not gonna buy one because I think it's a little bit too expensive. For me, I have a laptop. I use a Mac, but I use a laptop just so I could, carry it. So I don't need like both. In case anyone cared, I guess, I don't know. But nonetheless, I think this is a kind of a much needed upgrade for people that were looking to upgrade their iMacs, but maybe hadn't done so in a while because they were waiting for an upgrade, right? We might see some sales there. This one was actually super exciting. AirTags. We've heard about them for about 2 years now. Item trackers, you stick them on your key. You don't lose your keys ever again because you'll be able to find them, right? $29, available April 30th, 4-pack for $99. This is one of those, relatively kind of cheaper things that hopefully they sell a lot of, and kind of drive revenue that way. The Apple TV 4K is getting an A12 Bionic chip. Not sure that I personally, think that that's a big deal, but it can do HDR and high frame videos. The Apple TV remote is redesigned. Again, I don't necessarily, I'm not a user of Apple TV, so if you guys are and this is a big deal to you, let me know down in the comment section. The next thing that came was iPhone 12 in purple, which, again, I don't think was that big of a deal, just because, the iPhone 12 has been out for a little bit. So unless someone was really, really looking for a purple phone, don't think that this is necessarily going to drive a lot. What I did think was kind of cool, though, subscriptions coming to the podcasts app. So that I think is pretty cool. As we see kind of other players in the space like Spotify really kind of upping their podcast game, Apple is starting to take part in that as well. So I know I covered that really quick, but I've talked about this for the past week, and a lot of what we got were things that we had already kind of anticipated. So nothing crazy new there, but I still did want to cover it since, well, we like Apple, and so we want to see all the new products that, we can get. So let's take a look at how Apple stock traded today. Let's take a look at the overall market. So NASDAQ down about 1%, 0.92, Dow down 263 points, 0.77%, and S&P down 0.73%. Apple was down 1.28%. Remember that we were at all-time highs, and I kind of told you guys over and over again, pullbacks are coming, pullbacks are probably going to happen. We're starting to see that. Not fully convinced that the pullback's done. So let's take a look at future levels of support, future levels of resistance, and we'll see what we see. Pre-market and a little bit in the post-market, we got above the 135 level, which, as you guys remember, was a pretty key level because over the past few days, we had really struggled to stay above the 135 or even break above 135, right? So we got a little bit of a sell-off all the way down to our 132.52 level, try to push up, rejected by our 133 level, support here, and then finally broke below and came above. Now we're right at this support and the 132.52. So let's take a look at what that could mean for future, price action for Apple. So here's Apple longer term. We had that bull pennant that we caught, right? If you guys remember, we had this nice little breakout. Here's what I was talking about over the past kind of 4 or 5 days. We've really struggled to break above the 135 level. And now we've got a little bit of a pullback. The pullback actually is above the AEMA, which is great. It's not a crazy kind of crash or anything, but it is a much needed pullback. So I'm actually, here for it, right? I'd rather it kind of take a little breather, consolidate before it starts to push up again. RSI is looking a little bit better, definitely still more on the overbought side than the oversold side at 59, but looking pretty good overall there. So key levels of support, key levels of resistance. The first level of support that we have is the 132.50s level, right? That we were kind of right at in the after hours, because we're dropping about another 48 cents in the after hours. So that's the first level, 132.52, which is also where the AEMA is, 132.61, exactly where we are right now. Below that, we have 131.45 and $130.24. Remember that when we were here and we pulled back, I was kind of wanting us to test that 130 level, establish that as a good level of support before we start to push up. We didn't do that. So maybe we see that over the next day or two, right? Kind of a continued pullback before we maybe see a little bit of a run into earnings. Earnings are a week from tomorrow. So we got about, 5 or 6 trading days. So we have enough room for us to maybe consolidate for another day, maybe go down for another day or two. And then we start that run into earnings and then kind of the fall we see after, right? On the upside, 135 again is that level that we've not been able to break. Above that, we got 136.05 and then 138.43. Overall, right, the markets are looking all right. The key thing though, and I want to kind of talk about the market, and I want to kind of talk about why everything is a little down after hours. We ended the day below the AEMA. Now, typically, whenever we've done that, we could see a little bit of a followed red day, right, to the 21 EMA. Not saying that needs to happen, right, but it could happen. So two things can happen. We see a little bit of a gap down, we go down to test the 21 EMA, and maybe we push back up. Or we can come above the AEMA and then kind of be fine there. I personally would not be surprised if we see a little bit more of a pullback, considering we're still relatively on the overbought side. Maybe down to kind of the low 400s, 405, 406, that area. Would be totally happy if it didn't happen, by the way. Just pointing out the possibilities of the negatives. Same thing with the QQQs, pretty, in the middle of 2 EMAs. Whenever that happens, there's the risk that we continue down to the 21 EMA. So if we see that happen, just be kind of mentally prepared. Why are we down so much in the after hours? Well, Netflix, which is one of the FANG stocks, right, reported their earnings. And they reported, as you could see, they're down huge in the after hours. We're talking 10% down, $50 a share. Why are they down? Because they are predicting slowest growth in history. They're predicting they missed the first quarter subscriber target. So yes, it's based on bad news on the part of Netflix, but Netflix is typically what kicks off earnings season for big tech. And with Netflix stock falling, a lot of other stocks have fallen as a result. So that's what we're seeing in the after hours. You take Apple down 47 cents, Microsoft down another 70 in the after hours, Amazon down 17 cents, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're seeing in the after hours, right? Some earnings coming out, some bad news related to that. So would not be surprised again if we see a little bit more of a pullback this week, and hopefully we start to push up into next week as we get closer to Apple's earnings. Wouldn't surprise me if that happened. So we'll see how Apple goes. Relatively on the weaker side today, really struggling to break that 135, but hopefully after we maybe come down, consolidate a little bit either off the EMA or the low 130s, start to push up and run into earnings, then we can kind of break those mid 130s and start to push up from there. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.